pizzas, burgers.
Did
Yeah,
you
I hear
see
there's
that?
been a lot of food lately.
Cindy said that to me today. I about died.
Mm.
Stand for Freedom Week.
Avocados. I have
I should
avocado
be
in
free
your
to eat avocados on my burgers anytime I wish.
You are. I love avocados.
All right, I think we're live.
Are we live?
Yes,
We
Are we
must be
live?
must be
I think
live.
we're live. Yeah, we're live. Hey, thanks for joining us, everyone. I'm David Darnell with Restore Oregon Now. I'm here with Bill Curry, Restore Oregon Now, and Ben Edel, who is free to eat avocados on any burger he chooses from Free Oregon. And
free avocados.
yeah, free avocado. Well, see, Ben lives in the big city. He lives in Portland, and so while the rest of us have bacon and cheese on our burgers, he has avocado.
Can't do the cheese.
Oh man, I would die if I couldn't do cheese. Hey, but we're here to talk to you about what's going on with our Stand for Freedom project. It's a joint effort with Open Oregon, Restore Oregon Now, and Free Oregon, as well as some other groups. Lots of people getting in on this thing. This week we have 3 counties that we know are going to pass our resolution this week. We're going to obviously not name them until they have done so that they don't get an onslaught of phone calls from people who oppose freedom and liberty in the state of Oregon. And we know that there is a plethora of those people in the state of Oregon. But there's also many of us who would like to have what we call a normal American life, where we can walk around freely, visit who we would like to visit, and not have to show papers to go places. So we've got 3 counties that are ready to pass it. We have some other counties that are lined up next week to pass it. So the snowball is starting to turn over, and it's starting to roll down the hill, and it's starting to get bigger. And we a lot of people have been saying, hey, everything's going to go back to normal here. Why should I sign this petition? Why should we be going to our city council or our county commission and asking them to pass a resolution to uphold the higher laws of the Oregon Constitution and the U.S. Constitution over those laws that are in conflict that come out of Salem, and especially the executive orders? And you know what? Weren't we supposed to open up? When was it, Ben? Yesterday? Was it today?
It was Monday, but I thought, correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought in March of 2020 it was 2 weeks just to flatten the curve.
Yeah. Well, there's that.
Now where's your papers? Now it's 68.5%. It ain't 70%, so we're not opening anymore. And gee, pretty soon the fire season's going to come. We're going to get rolling blackouts, and then it's going to be a lockdown for the environment. Lockdown for the environment. Watch it happen.
It is. Well, yeah. I mean, once the people that get a taste of this power, where they can just shut down businesses and disrupt people's lives and order them to do whatever they so desire. Once they get a taste of that, they're not going back. And it's always for the good of the people. I mean, we've seen it in the 20th century. About 150 million people were murdered under the pretense of it's good for the people, it's good for the collective, it's good for the largest body of people. So what we've done here is we've started a petition drive. We're well over 20,000 signatures now, I believe, and rolling along. And what we're doing is we're gathering support for our Stand for Freedom project, which we are going to bring before county commissions and city councils and in an effort to give them the tools that they need to combat these things that are coming out of Salem. Bill's kind of the architect of this thing, and I think we'll have him explain it because he does it so extremely well.
Well, it's been a while. It's great to be on with both of you. It feels like it's been a few months. So
it has.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity to show my face. I've been kind of behind the scenes, but we've been doing a lot, like you said, David. And there's counties coming on board, and the question about, well, why should we do this when the vaccine level is what, 68%? Vaccination rate is about 68% now. She's still pushing for that last 2%, but isn't it almost over? Can't we relax and coast from here on out? And And really, no, the answer is no, because like you said, once they have a taste of taking that much freedom away, it'll be that much easier to do it again. And so the way we stop that from happening again is to exert local control, basically. In other words, the government that's closest to the people serves the people best. And the state government, under Kate Brown, has abused the people and not used this so-called emergency to the benefit of the state, to the actual benefit, but actually used it as a hammer to gain compliance. And actually, the effect has been, whether intended or not, has been to drive a lot of small businesses out of business, which is not in anybody's best interest. So the long-term goal here isn't just to get the mask off or get past the vaccination question, but to make sure that it can't happen again. Because if we don't do what we're doing now, we're not paving the way to stopping it in the future. We can't just say it's over just because they're letting up. Every period in history where rights have been taken away, they have been taken away gradually, and usually if you look at it as a curve, an up and down curve, where they give some back, they take more away, give some back, take more away. It's a, 2 steps forward, 1 step back sort of thing. And we just can't let up. We have tasted, once again, in our country, as we did back when the country was formed, this desire to exhibit tyranny and take away people's rights, even when it doesn't benefit the people. So that's why we're doing this. There's a long-term vision here. We have to amend the Constitution to make sure the governor's powers are not able to be exercised in this way, to clarify the Constitution language, to make sure that the Supreme Court cannot, find loopholes for the governor. And we have to make sure that local government starts standing up at the local city and county level, and that they're backed by the people, and that they know that the people back them in upholding those rights and upholding both the Oregon Constitution and the U.S. Constitution. Because everything that's happening right now is a violation of both the Oregon and the U.S. Constitution. We seem to have lost sight of that. So until we get back to those basics of honoring that at the local level, which will, at the local level, we're much stronger than state government. And if we don't push back at the local level, it's never going to be turned around at the state level.
Right. So essentially what we're doing here is we're creating, one person coined the phrase constitutional sanctuaries. We've had, a lot of, we've had the 2A sanctuary, the Second Amendment sanctuary movement, some other movements, that have gone around city councils or city councils and county commissions. But really what we're doing here is we're making an all-encompassing resolution for a city or a county to pass, saying that we will not expend. We're making a template, and they can make it any way they want it. But essentially, it gives them the ability to say, "Hey, look, we're not going to spend any of our resources." Much the way the state of Oregon worded their sanctuary state statute, we're not going to spend any resources enforcing any of these unconstitutional or these laws that are in conflict with the Oregon Constitution and the U.S. Constitution. And then we're going to back that up with a sample or a template ordinance that people can pass. Because as you pointed out, Bill, you're a mayor of a city. When an employee, whether it be the mayor or city council or the public work guy or the, the police in the city, they have to have something on paper to point at. And so when, Kate Brown comes in and says, "Hey, shut these businesses down because there's an energy crisis or there is a wildfire crisis," you can point to the ordinance and go, "No, I can't help you, Governor, because it says here right in our ordinance that we can't do that because it isn't obviously in direct conflict with the Oregon Constitution and the U.S. Constitution." So,
that's exactly right.
Yeah. So when people ask me, they go, "Hey, how everything's going to be back to normal here pretty soon?" I go, "No, it's not going to be back to normal here pretty soon." Like you said, Ben, 2 weeks to flatten the curve. This stuff is going to keep coming out of Salem. It'll come out, in the form of gun bills. It'll come out in the form of cap and trade bills, outlawing diesel. And I mean, it's just a never-ending onslaught.
Well, and it's just time in the history of our country and of Oregon for people to reassert to government that they are the final authority, that the people are the final authority. And that's why it's so important for this to start at a local level and work up, because we're not going to get relief at the state level by asking for it to be done at the state level. They've already demonstrated they're not going to do that. Otherwise, the legislature would have jumped in and reined in the governor, and they didn't. They abrogated their responsibility and they didn't do it. So now it's incumbent on us to reassert our voices as being and our right as the people to be the final authority, which our whole country was established on. Now they're just running with this idea that, hey, if they don't push back at the local level, whatever we do at the state level, nobody's going to oppose it. And they're not strong enough. They don't have any voice at the state level. They only have voice at the local level. So we gotta work it from the bottom up, just like it was hundreds of years ago. That's where we are. We got to get back to that.
Yeah, somebody right in the legislature. I mean, this last session was just a complete obliteration of our rights by the state legislature in Salem. I mean, it's disgusting. The governor's giving it to us. The legislature's giving it to us. They could care less. They have no respect whatsoever for liberty or freedom or for our Constitution of the United States or even the Constitution of Oregon. I mean, 8234. I mean, it's crazy. 554. I mean, these things are absolutely nuts. And so the only way to stand up against that is to work with the politicians, the elected officials that are closest to the people. And
Exactly.
Those are the ones in the counties and the cities, right?
Yeah,
Once you get to Salem, who are people? What are they? The plebeians? Nobody cares anymore by then. And the governor, gosh, when you're as high and mighty as Your Highness Kate Brown, I mean, she doesn't even care what you want. She's not even worried about the next election. She's not worried about the Democrats in the next election because they already know what the outcomes are going to be in Salem. They already know what the election outcomes are going to be.
Yep.
Maybe we should fix it at the county level.
Yeah.
Yep. That's exactly right.
At the state level, allowed in the building. I mean, how the hell can you? Yeah. It's
you
like
seen the fences.
Yeah, it's like, no, we don't need your input. We got it.
Well, when a legislator, regardless of all the other circumstances involved, when a legislator can be removed by other legislators, what does that say about the voice of the people who elected him in the first place?
Yeah.
Bierman, he was representing his constituents, and then his own people threw him out.
How is it that other legislators can remove somebody installed by the people? When we're at that point, we're in dangerous territory.
It's like getting fired from a business you don't work at. You're in Freddy's and they're like, hey, you're fired. You're like, but I don't work here. I don't work for you. How can you fire me?
The Democrats, they love to throw around, and they have just it in the threat with this expulsion of Mike. But the legislature is now in session in Oregon, and there's 1,000 voters and 100 and some odd in a House district. Representation whatsoever. There's no input from those people in that House district right now because 59 people who do not live in that House district threw out and was elected to represent them.
That's the opposite of representation.
That's kicking, the Democrats' beloved democracy head.
How dare you let the people in? Off with your head.
Yeah.
Well, we got here.
The whole thing is, to me, COVID, the way the legislative session's been handled, blocking people from entering, all of that is just a test to see how far they can go. How far they can go. And the farther they can get, the more they will keep going, and they will keep taking and taking and taking until at some point we don't have the ability to fight back. Right. I mean, it's just that simple.
Yeah, and I think you nailed it, Bill, when you said that we are where we were almost 250 years ago, where the taking and taking and taking. Fact of the matter is, much like today, most people are going, okay, but the percentage of people, a very vocal and a very determined people of the population that said no, we're going to stop this against all odds. If I remember correctly, and I really haven't, I haven't researched it to make sure, but I think it was one of the first times that the British Empire had been challenged by a group of its subjects. Of course, the result was, the greatest country the world has ever known. And we've just washed that back because, you look around, you're in Oregon, and so many people said yes. So many people said, okay, 2 weeks, okay, 2 months, okay, 6 months. Hey, I won't go see grandma. She'll just die alone. No, I won't have a graduation. No, I won't have a birthday party. I won't go to a friend's house. I won't travel. I'll wash my hands 100 times a day. I'll stay 6 feet away from people. And, people like us just look around and go, man, this is not right. Somebody needs to stand up, even for people who don't know they should be standing up for themselves, because if they don't, the whole society collapses. The American experiment becomes a dismal failure, and it's incumbent upon us to do that, or to keep that alive, and to not let that happen. And I think we can do this, pushing back at the local level.
Yeah, enemies, foreign and domestic, wasn't referring to enemies of the government. It was enemies of the people. And the only way the people were able to fight back was to band together, despite, and there were many loyalists at that time. A full 2/3 of the people in the colonies were loyal until people started standing up and banding together, and then many of the loyalists came across. But it wasn't until they started standing up.
And that's what's happening right now. That's what's happening right now. There's Democrats that I know. I talk to them every single day. I mean, and they're starting to wake up and go, okay, I'm realizing now what's going on. I mean, look, when the FDA recalls the COVID antigen test because it provides a false positive no matter what virus you have, you go, well, no wonder there's no flu, right? So they have all these numbers and all these things happening, but the truth is that it was created in a Wuhan lab. The Hunter Biden's laptop wasn't a Russian hoax. Now we have this fake false test that's been sent out all across the country and the world to grow this huge number of COVID cases, and any death in the state of Oregon was basically attributed to COVID when it wasn't. And we see that the death rate in Oregon didn't go up, it probably went down. So when we see 2020 to 2019, and they haven't put 2020's death rate up yet, but you'll be able to see it when the state of Oregon does it, that the numbers probably went down because fewer traffic accidents, fewer people hit by cars, all these different things and it's probably going to drop it down. But the people that were going to die in the state of Oregon probably already died. They were going to die anyways. And so they've made this huge thing up. And now even people on the left, the Democrats, our brothers and sisters on the left, that they're going, okay, man, it's getting real hard for me to keep buying this story, guys. And we got to give them a way to save some face. And the way that you can save face, if you're one of those that maybe we're a little late to the wake-up game, it's okay. Thank the gods. You're welcome and wanted here, but go sign it and send it.
Yeah, when the people when the situation has gotten to the point where the people in the state of Oregon are asking when they can have their freedom back.
Yeah, in America.
That's the situation that we had with the loyalists, in the founding of our country. Is everybody was asking, when can we have some representation? When can, everybody wanted the same things. Some of them were saying, when can we have it back? And then the others who stood up said, we're taking it back.
Yeah, we're taking it back. And
that's you're joining us or you're not.
Yeah. And the net result was a better society for everyone.
Well, imagine that the people, people have basically, unfortunately, started to conclude that government knows best. And I could quote a whole bunch of Ronald Reagan right now, right? But, we have been told what's best for us. When we get to 70% vaccination rate, then it'll be safe. Then it'll be okay.
I found out what it's like when Kate Brown and Ted Wheeler runs my business. It didn't work out so well.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, and it's always a moving target, and it's always an emergency, and it's always what's for our best. But they're doing what's best for us. Please, can we have our freedom back, please?
A little.
Somebody said to me today, they go, why don't you go live in Mississippi? And I responded back and I said, let me tell you something. Oregon's education performance is ranked at 47 out of 50. I bet you Mississippi's better there. And I was like, I bet you can do more things in Mississippi without the government getting involved. And I bet you there's less murders in Mississippi. And I bet the crime rates are going down in Mississippi. I was like, hell, you could probably even operate a business in Mississippi. Mississippi's looking pretty good.
Antifa isn't taking over major cities.
Totally. I was like,
Yeah.
you think Mississippi's a bad place right now, comparatively speaking? I mean, It's outrageous how ignorant some people can be. But you have to do your own research. You have to go to the government. The officials lie to you, but the government itself puts the facts out. The FBI has the facts out on nationwide crime statistics. The Oregon Health Authority has the facts out on COVID. The Oregon or the Federal Department of Education has the facts out on education performance ranking by state. Go look at it for yourself because the data is still there. You can learn, and then you got to wake up the facts. Use your own eyes and go sign it and send it.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing, if you're sitting there and you know something's wrong, and Ben's Democrat friends, my Democrat friends, they kind of know something's wrong. A lot of people, don't want to talk about it, but if you know something's wrong, you have to do something. This is what you do. You can go to restoreoregonnow.org, restoreoregonnow.org, or freeoregon.us, freeoregon.us, and you can sign the petition online. You don't need to sign it in person. You can also download a sheet, take it to your family, take it to your church, take it to your business, and get as much support as you can for going to the county, the city council, and going to the county commission and say, hey, look, we want the America that 1 million people have died to protect. That has now been systematically, taken away from us. And, we want to live like free people. And that's really all we're asking. It's just to sign it and send it.
Let me ask you guys this, everybody who's watching right now, just go back to last March to now. If the state of Oregon was your boyfriend or your girlfriend or your wife or your husband, how long would you be able to maintain the relationship given all the deceit and lies and gaslighting and coercion that's gone on since then? Would you still be in a relationship with that person? I hope not. I hope I hope you'd outgrow it and wise up and move on, because your life would get much, much better. So go back and look at all the things that Kate Brown has said and done, and all the things that the legislators have tried to manage in your life, in our lives. And ask yourself, if that was your boyfriend or your girlfriend, how long would you hang in on that relationship? Probably not very long.
Good point, Ben. All right, I'm going to give you the final word, Bill.
Oh my. Okay. Well, we have an opportunity here to make a permanent change, and I'm just encouraging everyone that's watching to not look at what's happening right now. It is a false flag, or I shouldn't say false flag. It is a misdirection. It is okay, you're getting some freedoms back. Hey, just calm down. Don't get too riled up. But we can't do that. They have demonstrated what they're willing to do. This can never happen again in Oregon. And so we need to make sure it never happens again by building support at the local level and then making a change in the Constitution ultimately to stop this from happening again. So thank you, everyone who's contributing to that effort. We have counties coming on board. Many more will come on board. And as it grows, it will grow faster. But we can't look at the current media coverage and what Kate Brown's saying and going, oh, it's all returning to normal, because we're only getting a little bit back for a lot taken.
Yeah, well said. Well said. So sign it and send it. Go to restoreoregonnow.org. Go to freeoregon.us. And Ben will give us the send out.
Sign it and send it, baby. Sign
All
it
right.
and send it.
Thanks for watching.
What is that again, Ben?
It's time to break up with the government of Oregon.
Dear John letter. We have a Dear John letter you can sign. Dear Kate.
Let's just be friends.
Thanks for letting me join in the fun tonight.
All right. Bye.
Bye.